What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. And man, the NFL been going crazy, fam. Like, it's this draft, right? CeeDee Lamb girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Grab his phone, going crazy. Then you got the one guy, you know what I'm saying, Isaiah something, you know, his little white girlfriend got pushed by his mama and stuff like that out the way. Like, niggas been wilding during this damn NFL draft moment, right? But the person who's been hot right now, who ain't even playing no damn sports, this Negro just been smoking up weed and blunts, Steven Jackson. Now, y'all know Steven Jackson, ex-NFL player, ex-NBA player rather, who's now, you know, got a podcast with Matt Barnes. Fox Sports, he comes on there and does this thing. He came into some controversy last month when he was talking about, you know, how bitter black women ruin good black men. If that wasn't enough, just a few weeks ago, he came under fire, and then he said that he left his ex-wife, or, you know, one of his baby mamas, at the altar because she didn't want to sign the prenup. But now he's back at it again, talking about how he never sees white NFL players celebrating their draft with black girlfriends. And you know what? I never thought about that. You know, when you look at the NFL draft, in this draft was cyber, right? It was, you know, there wasn't one in Las Vegas, you know, due to coronavirus, people were at their homes. And we saw some black players with white families. We saw black players with black families. We saw black players with non-black girlfriends. We saw black players with black girlfriends. But we never see when white players get drafted. They never have a black woman. I've never seen it. Never in the history of the draft do you see a white NFL player getting drafted with a white woman. And I don't want you to take my word for it, right? I want you to hear what Steven Jackson had to say, and then, you know, we're going to come back, and I'm going to add my commentary.
Morning, world. Wake and bake on my shit. Say, we've almost seen everything in the NFL draft, right? We've seen a dude get drafted, and his gay boyfriend trying to show him love, and he move away from him. We see a guy get drafted, and he kiss his white boyfriend. We've seen almost everything with the draft, right? And y'all know I'm not racist. I love everybody, but I have a question. How come we've never seen a white guy get drafted with a house full of black people celebrating for him? Or how come we've never seen a white boy get drafted with his black girlfriend and the house full of black people? Why is always the black player with the white girlfriend with the white family around? Like, I don't understand that. It's never the other way around. It's never the other way around. Am I tripping?
All right, guys. So, you know, you heard what he had to say, right? And, you know, in my opinion, man, I gotta say, I believe that he's right. Some people are saying, you know, Steven Jackson hates black women, or, you know, black men maybe shouldn't be dealing with white girls. We don't really know what he's trying to say. But the truth is the truth. You never see white NFL players dating black women. But here's something that I want to talk about. Sisters give the hint that, you know, white guys are checking for them. This is the reason why, you know, whenever they see interracial dating and stuff like that, white men with black women, they're so quick to promote it. But I think here's where we're at. White guys who are in their prime, okay, that means they're coming out of college, they're going into the best years of their life, they're at the height of their looks, their height of their potential. What this is shown in the NFL draft for white NFL players going into the draft, these white guys, if they're not interested in black women, they have not selected them over other groups of women, okay? And to be fair, Steven Jackson even mentioned that he's even seen a black guy kiss a white guy on an NFL draft day. We won't get into that, but that's what he said. The reason is, in my opinion, white guys who have, at the peak of their earning potential, at the peak of their status, they don't need to go to African American women. The reason being is because they don't have to. And it's not that a white guy wouldn't be interested in a black woman. I'm not saying that. Black women are very attractive. But a white guy The question is, why would he have to do that? All right. You are a white guy. You're from the University of Iowa. You're from the University of Notre Dame. Number one, you haven't even grown up around black people. All right. Most white people don't grow up with black people. It's different than, I have a black person on my team who's my quarterback. I got a black person on my team who's the running back. I got a black person on my team who's a cornerback. And we might be friends. But for the most part, having friends that are men of other races and dating somebody that's black, for a lot of black people and a lot of white people, we just don't really mix like that, right? I mean, if you go to Notre Dame, University of Nebraska, University of Iowa, how many black women are there? Think about it. Penn State, Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, University of Texas. You're not gonna find that many black women there. And if there are there, you're gonna find so many white women there, it's ridiculous, all right? You know what? For any black person that goes to predominantly white universities, let's just be honest. When you go to predominantly white institutions, right? And this is what I remember. Most black students try to hang around themselves, okay? We do that. When we go to a white school, what's the first thing we want to do? We want to form a black student union. You know what I'm saying? We want to feel some kind of black community in these situations. So there's a sense of longing of wanting to be somewhere in the black or African community amongst blacks when you go to a predominantly white institution, all right? And for white football players who have white women throwing themselves at them, all right? I'm talking about cheerleaders. And at predominantly white institutions, the best looking white women at Arizona State, University of Arizona, when I'm talking about they're fine, they're really fine. And one of the things I would say that if you're black, if you're a sister and there is a white guy that is of high value, I think a lot of sisters are intimidated by white guys who are doing very well. That's just my, because I know that because sisters tend to be intimidated by brothers who are doing very well. I know that to be true. Black women are intimidated by successful black men, in my all honest opinion. I could be wrong here and there, but in general, I feel that that's the case. I feel that black women, they don't know how to be around a brother that doesn't need them. That's why a lot of times successful black women are used to dealing with, dudes who can't do anything for them. That's what I feel. But if it's a white guy that comes from a whole different upbringing, and if she comes from an upbringing that's not, as stellar, she might be the first person in the family going to college. A lot of sisters have a hard time competing against women in the dominant society. All right. And a lot of the times, that's why when you see sisters getting with white guys, these are the type of white guys that a lot of white women are not interested in. Okay. And when you talk about the NFL draft, now you're talking about every white guy that a white woman wants. Okay. Any white guy going to the NFL, that's a high value white man. All right. And I think it's a two-pronged process. High value white men are most likely not looking for black women, in my opinion, and our high value white men intimidate black women so they don't want to try to even be with them. Because for the most part, if you're a high value white guy, you might see a, African American chick, she might be attractive, but unless you really, 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 really love black women, you're probably not even going to approach her, Again, you have white women beating down your door, all the time. Good looking ones, you relate to them, you're from the same culture, listen to the same music, So when these white guys are going to the NFL, there really isn't a need for them to want to get with anything else but the beauty standard of their culture, which is beautiful blonde, white women, brunette, whatever. And Steven Jackson is absolutely right. You don't see it, you've never seen it, and you won't see it. You just won't. The only time you really see white guys dealing with black women, in my opinion, these typically are white guys who have, not been as successful. I'm not saying that's always the case because we know that's not the case all the time, but usually these are the white guys where sisters feel a little bit more comfortable with. We're just gonna be honest, all right? And that's really what's going on in America. So Steven Jackson, he did point this out. I definitely agree. Not saying that sisters are not attractive enough, but the worlds, for the most part, they just don't meet, Nothing wrong with that. Like even me, I feel kind of, a different kind of way talking to a white woman, even in Poland. I feel out of place, which is why I never did it. It's not like I don't think that they don't look good, but that's just myself. Brothers, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. I want to give a shout out to my brother, Falcon Black, all the way from the UK. All right. Now, I'm telling you, man, my brother is over here spitting some real good game. He started off as a subscriber of mine, but he has 1.65K subscribers. I want you guys to help him get to 2,000. So I want you to do me a favor. Go to the first comment pinned to the top, subscribe, hit the bell, get notified when Falcon Blizzak goes live and he's talking about that good yellow pill stuff. He has some great content, great topics, all the way from the UK. Support our brothers in the UK, man. They're doing some great things. Content is off the chain. That's my brother, my personal brother, man. I love my brother. Go over there and help the brother out. Help him get to 2,000. Hit the bell. Keep hitting the bell. You ain't got nowhere to go. Hit the damn bell, all right? And let him know the O'Shea sent you. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. All my contact information will be pinned to the first comment along with the page for Falcon Black, my Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts, my Patreon email. Peace.